Well, hello everybody, and I want to introduce you to my new Bluetti Elite 100 V2 power bank. I just got this in about a week ago, and just want a disclaimer, I bought this with my own money. Bluetti did not send me this. This is an honest review. I've had the Bluetti EB55 for several years. I've really enjoyed it, but I wanted something with more battery life, with more power, and Bluetti has come out with the Elite series. They've got the Elite 100 and the Elite 200. I got an email and got it on a pre-sale, so I purchased it actually a month or so before they even shipped them, and I ended up getting this for $399. I think they're selling right now at $599. I think that was going to be the going rate, so I took advantage of a sale. This is a 1,024 watt-hour unit. It's got a much nicer display than my EB55. I'll show you the display close up. It has 4 AC outlets. It's got 2 USB-Cs and 2 regular USBs. It's got your DC outlets, your car cigarette lighter, and then 2 12-volt ports. It can be charged with solar, and it can be charged from the wall. And the charging on this is so much better than the charging on the old EB55, which I still have and I still use. When you plug this in on the wall, it charges at something like 600 watts. And then it has a turbo boost. There's an app that comes with it that you can hit the turbo boost and it cranks it up to 1,200 watts. So if you need this thing charged in a hurry, you can do it from the wall. Now, charging the battery, it's more battery friendly if you don't use that turbo boost. I think that's kind of like my cell phone sometime. My cell phone knows when I'm at nighttime and it'll say it's on adaptive charging, so it's charging the battery slower. They say that's better for the battery, but if you need it, this baby's got the power. So let me show you the display, and then I want to show you a little bit of its usage, and then I'll show you me charging it with the power boost and then me charging it with solar. So here's the unit up close. Here's its new display. And one thing I love about this display over the EB55 is it gives you accurate battery amounts, how much battery you have left. The EB55 went in chunks of 20%. So you never know if you had 40% or 60%. You didn't know what you had. This one tells you exactly. Here is your input as to what's coming in. Here is your output as to what's being used. It has different switches here for your AC and your DC, and it has a main power switch. Let me click that. So there, I've just clicked it off. And there I've clicked it back on. So if I'm using anything AC, you hit that button right there, the light came on, you heard a click. If I'm using DC, same thing, click the DC, it comes on. So here are its 4 AC outlets, 2 USB-Cs, 2 regular USBs. The car lighter, the cigarette lighter port for direct current, and your 2 12-volt jacks, all right? And up here is where your solar goes in. Now, let me turn it to the side and show you. Here is where you plug in for if you're charging from the wall, okay? So there's its features. Very, very nice, very happy with this. So now let me show you the Elite 100 powering something up. And I brought my EB55 out here for a demonstration. I have my circular saw plugged into the EB55. The EB55 is fully charged, okay? It won't run it. It won't get the motor started. It just makes noise. So there's not enough power boost in the EB55 to get this circular saw going. So let me plug it in to the Elite 100. Sorry about that noise, but I had it right up against the microphone, my bad. Okay, you're not going to be able to see this display very well, but let me turn this saw on and let me show you what it's doing, and I'll tell you what it's doing. Let me show you what it's doing. running at 890 amps. That saw was pulling 890 watts out of this thing. And when I first turned it on, it had jumped up to 1300 watts. So that's that initial surge, and that's what this machine has. It's got this, like it's an 1800 watt power boost, so it can take a bigger motor or something, a bigger refrigerator, and it can run it, okay? I've got no doubt this can run my little small refrigerator in my garage or anything that I need to do. So there was it running something that drew a lot of wattage. Now I'd like to show you something in this charging. You can see over here that I'm getting 604 watts input. But here on my phone, I downloaded the Bluetti app, which I hadn't done yet. And there is a turbo mode, and I can click on the turbo mode and watch. It just went up to 1200 watts of charging. So that's going to charge this thing super fast. It was saying before at standard that it was going to take like an hour and 30 minutes to charge it. Now, let's see if I can see what it says. Estimated charging time 42 minutes. So we're under an hour to charge this thing. Let me turn this around and show you another nice feature. They put a built-in handle right here that really makes it nice to pick up and be able to move. It weighs 25 pounds, so it's not super light, but still very, very portable. So let's talk about its solar input capabilities. They say this can take 1,000 watts of solar, and hey, I believe them. The specs on the charge controller are that it can take up to 60 volts and 20 amps. Well, if you take 60 volts times 20 amps, that's actually 1,200 watts. But I can't, for the life of me, figure out any combination of solar panels that you're going to be able to get to 1,000 watts. You would have to have such specific panels that the amperage and the voltage were compatible. One, there's no such thing as a 1,000 watt solar panel. I think the biggest one we can buy is about 400 to 600 watts, somewhere in there. I know All Powers makes a 600 watt one that's a fold out one, but I would never buy anything else from All Powers in my life. I've got two and they're terrible. But I'm getting ready to go charge it on my 400 watt rigid panel. But that 400 watt rigid panel, if I hook two of them together, I think this could handle the two together, but I'm only at 800 watts and it would be maxed out. But anyway, so I'm still being able to charge this with a lot more solar than I could on that EB55. But let's go plug it up and let's see what's going on. All right, so I've got my 400 watt rigid panel back here. And going over the specs of this again, I mean, this is like a 31 volt or 30 volt that it puts out, and the amperage was more than half. So I can't even hook two of these together in a series, and it goes above that charge controller. So the EB55 was the same. It's my only negative thing I ever say about Bluetti is their claims on solar are always a little bit false or misleading to me, because you can't ever figure out the configuration that can get you up to that max power. Now, if somebody else out there watching this has figured it out, put a comment below. I would love to know how to do it, because there's obviously something that I'm missing. Well, I've got it hooked up here, and let me bring the camera around and let me show you what we're doing here and how much wattage we're getting. All right, so I hope there's not a glare on the screen so you can see, but I am pulling in 312 watts right now. I'm at 72% charged. It's showing that I've got 0.9 of a 90% of an hour left to go to get it to fully charged. So, you know, even at 313 watts, it's not charging that slow. So I think you got a nice sunny day. It shouldn't take that long to charge it up. Well, there's my review on the Bluetti Elite 100 V2. Am I happy with this? Yeah, very happy. The only thing, again, that disappoints me is the solar, but solar disappoints me altogether. I get disappointed with solar panels because it's a 400 watt panel. It's a beautiful sunny day. There's not a cloud in the sky, and I'm getting 320 watts. I want 400 watts. So, but that's just me. If you're looking for a really nice battery pack, you can't go wrong right here. This would be great for camping, RV life, emergency situations. That's what I have it for mostly, is emergency situations. I live in hurricane country. I wanted something a little bit bigger with a little more battery, that if I was without power for a couple of days, where that EB55 is only 550 watt hours, this is over 1,000. So I doubled my capacity. Plus I still have the EB55. So in reality, I tripled my capacity of what I originally had. But thanks so much for coming in and watching this video. I appreciate it. That stand where I had my solar panel, it's a video back in my library of how I made that, and more stuff about my solar capabilities and my solar generator backups. So thanks a lot. Hit that subscribe button for me, and keep watching my videos, and drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, y'all.